And hi, everybody. Welcome on in to another episode of the Skycast. I'm John Oglesby.
Jason Ashcraft.
Brad Wall.
You might notice behind, before we start, the set is under some reconstruction. We're changing things up. We're going to be adding some photographs and different elements here in the next couple weeks. So we'll be excited when it's done. Right now, kind of moving some things around, so we appreciate your patience. All winter sports up and running right now, fellas. Pretty much everything is going. As usual, we're going to start out with the real star of the show, and that being Brad Wall.
All right, yeah, so tennis is right around the corner here. We just released our preseason polls. The Weber State men and Sac State women both favored. It was really competitive tennis season last year. A lot of talent amongst the league. But then you go into this year, there's a lot of the all-conference teams, people graduated or left. So it's really wide open this year. But Sac State women, I mean, they're just a perennial powerhouse in the Big Sky. Nothing's changed. They may have lost last year. Their first, their streak of 13 straight tournament titles is over. But man, you have to think they're going to be in the running to start that back up again. Coach Dima, and then first team selections: Elena Soltanici and Demonte Bulatovate. Something like probably butchered that, but I don't know. But they're going to be really strong heading into this year. Another thing of note, we lose our MVP last year, Galina Baikova from Idaho, but we get our 2014 MVP, Haley Driver from Montana back, coming back from a knee injury in redshirt season last year. So it'll be interesting to see where that goes. And Weber State, they bring in 3 second-team selections, Jacob Gewert, Landon Barlow, and Todd Fott. Gewert and Fott have been first-team selections in the past as well, so curious to see where that goes.
Yeah, it should be good.
Idaho's got Odin Barta, the MVP last year, coming back. Felipe Fonseca, another first-team Isle selection. So it'll be a fun year. Yeah. Excited to see where it heads.
That it will. Again, look to Brad Wall and BigSkyConf.com for all the latest and greatest in tennis news. We're not done with Brad, though. Indoor track and field is up and running, no pun intended.
Yeah, so the heat's really turning up this weekend. 11 teams competing. We had a chunk of teams kind of do some December meets and some multi stuff. But now it's for real. Now we're really going to see those performance lists start to get some good marks in there. Some of the key meets, Montana State, they're seeing a lot of each other this year. They'll be in Bozeman.
The site of the Big Sky Indoor Championships.
Exactly. Getting that experience on that track, really huge. Really huge for them to be doing. Idaho State, Southern Utah, and Weber State all going to be in Pocatello for the Snake River Open. Southern Utah will also be in Flagstaff, sending a squad there to face off with NAU at the Lumberjack Team Challenge. Northern Colorado going to Lincoln, Nebraska for a meet there. Eastern and Portland State going to UW in Seattle for the indoor preview there, and then Moscow's hosting a meet as well. So we'll see. It's always good to. I mean, some athletes have the goal of getting a qualifying mark right off the bat. Some just want to solidify themselves in that top 16. We'll see where it takes us this weekend.
When you were running track at Eastern Washington, were you one of those that wanted to get that qualifying goal out of the way as quickly as possible?
It's always nice to get out of the way early and just know you're there. You got your ticket booked. That nothing can change from there. If you kind of wait along and kind of get on the brink for a while, it can be a little more stressful when you get towards the end of the season trying to get into that top 16 that get to go. Yeah.
So veteran advice from Brad Wolf. Get your qualifying marks done early, so then you can maybe try to do a personal best.
Yeah, and then your school kind of knows what kind of roster they're taking into the Big Sky meet as well. So
absolutely, that's free advice right there from a multi-time all Big Sky track and field runner. All right, Brad, before we send it to break, you actually got an initiative you wanted to talk about.
It's partnership with the You Can Play project. Really kind of a long time coming. It's great for it to be official. Just taking a really strong stand on athletics and including people regardless of sexual orientation, race, just taking in all those negative factors out there and focusing on student athlete performance. So we stand by with them. We're really excited about joining them. We've done some great things with them. Student Athlete Health and Wellness Symposium, and you met Wade Davis. Just great people. We're looking forward to this partnership.
Yeah, there's a really great release on BigSkyConf.com that gives you all the information about not only what the Big Sky Conference is doing with the You Can Play initiative, but also the You Can Play initiative itself. We encourage all of our fans to go online and look that up. It's a great initiative. We're all happy to be a part of it.
Sports is about bringing people together, so why not celebrate that? Good points on that, Brad and Jason. We're going to take a break. We're going to come on back, discuss what's happening on the road to Reno. Both Jason and I got a complete breakdown of Big Sky men's and women's basketball. We'll also give you a look at what's coming up this weekend on the road to Reno. We're taping Thursday afternoon. We already have one result that's in the books. We'll tell you what it is when we come back. You're watching the SkyCast.
A new era has come to Big Sky Conference basketball. 24 teams will invade the Reno Event Center on March 7th. Make plans to join us in Reno, where you'll be the witness to all the basketball madness you can handle. Tickets are on sale now. Visit www.roadtoreno.com to get all the details on how you can join your team on the road to Reno.
Welcome back, everybody, to the SkyCast. I'm John Oglesby alongside Jason Ashcraft and Brad Wall. The road to Reno, guys, we're entering week number 3. We'll start on the women's side of the discussion here. Already, it's Thursday afternoon where we're taping. One result already in the books is Weber State moves to 3-1 in Big Sky play as they knock off Portland State up at the D Event Center. I was up there literally moments ago, fellas, and Kids Day today.
Kids Day is always so much fun.
Let me tell you what, they had free sandwiches for all the kids, very loud environment. Let me tell you what, high pitch as well.
Yes.
So good time up at the D Event Center, and again, that's what sports is supposed to be about. Let the local elementary school kids in the Ogden area get an afternoon off, come to a game, make it a field trip. Really a cool event for Portland State as well. Their coach, Lynn Kennedy, really enjoyed that. We also have an interview with Lynn Kennedy where he talks about Portland State, as well as why he's excited about the road to Reno. You can find that on the Big Sky Conference YouTube channel. Let's break down where things are at in Big Sky women's basketball. Montana State, Eastern Washington, the 2 remaining undefeated teams in the league. They go 2-0 last weekend. Montana State scores over 100 on Portland State. Last-minute shot leads them to victory over Sacramento State, whereas the Grizz beat the Vikings and then lose in overtime at Sacramento State. That was the breakdown there. And Eastern Washington just one game last week where they beat Idaho, kind of a regional rivalry game there, so it was a good time as well. Weber State, they're going to move to 3-1 after their victory just a moment ago. Sac State, they play at Idaho State Thursday night, and then they're in Ogden Saturday for a game against Weber State. That could be a good one. You might want to mark that one on your calendar on watchbigsky.com. Some of the other results right now, fellas, we've got a mix of teams in the middle of the conference that right now it's tough to put a finger on what they're about, but they're teams that any night can come out and get a win if they're 100% prepared and ready.
Well, you've got the top 4 seeds get the first round bye in the Big Sky Conference Championship. So it's more than just trying to win the top seed, which is helpful.
Yeah.
To get those top 4 slots. You look at the standings right now, and you kind of knew going into the season Eastern Washington should be pretty good, Montana should be pretty good. But Montana State's surprising a lot of people. And then you've got 3, 4, 5, 6. You've got Weber State down to Northern Colorado, all just kind of in this clump.
Yeah.
Who they're going to beat up on each other this year, and it's going to be really interesting to see who can edge out and be in one of those top 4 spots. I think that's going to be the biggest race is for that number 4 seed in that last first round bye.
Well, and it's interesting too. You take a team like Idaho State, who started conference on watchbigsky.com. North Dakota at Montana State. I know the Fighting Hawks haven't had the strongest of starts, but they get a win last weekend over Idaho State. Big confidence booster. They go on the road to face the undefeated Bobcats. That's at 7 o'clock on watchbigsky.com. Northern Colorado at Montana. UNC started to get some heat. They're on a 2-game win streak. Lady Grizz coming off a loss against Sac State. How do they respond in a home doubleheader this weekend? Another game of note tonight, Sacramento State at Idaho State. Bengals hungry for a win. Can Sac State keep that positive momentum going? That'll be interesting to see. And then some good games on Saturday. Eastern Washington at NAU. NAU coming off a win as they'll host Idaho tonight, and then Eastern Washington on Saturday. Portland State and Idaho State. This one may not have as much appeal just when you look at the win-loss column, but Portland State's a program, I saw them just a couple minutes ago. They're getting better,
Yep.
easy to see, and they're trying to implement an up-tempo style similar to what Sacramento State does. First year for Lynn Kennedy, you still got to kind of instill that system, but they just scored 70-plus against Weaver. They scored 90-plus. Both of those losses, coincidentally, which is kind of funny to think about. But they're an exciting brand of basketball to watch. And again, does Idaho State break out and get a win? We'll have to see this weekend. And then some other games to note. Saturday, Sacramento State at Weaver State once again. And then North Dakota at Montana and Northern Colorado at Montana State. So should be a fun-filled weekend for the Big Sky Conference. Make sure to stay tuned at Big Sky WBB and at Big Sky Conf, as well as BigSkyConf.com.
It's in Jasmine Hummus.
Player of the week. Yeah, that
For
Jasmine
Montana State.
didn't mean to slide her there. Yeah, Jasmine Hummus, 20 points, 7.5 rebounds per game. That's what she averaged this weekend. Really just a top-flight performance. Many great performances this weekend. This is one of the toughest weekends we've had for Player of the Week.
Yeah.
Kaylee Valley with another great weekend for Montana. Had some good performances out of a few different players for Eastern Washington. So,
I mean, how big was Jasmine in that Sac State game?
Yeah.
She really kind of D'd up.
Mhm.
Sac State was trying to drive across the court and get a layup at the end, and she really
absolutely.
she stuck them and got the rebound and clinched it. So
Yeah,
that was huge, and they're undefeated still. So
Undefeated.
Up
Bobcats again this weekend host North Dakota and Northern Colorado. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. Jasmine Hummus, second time this season, she is your Player of the Week in Big Sky women's basketball. Speaking of only two undefeated teams left in the mix, that's the same story over on the men's side of the road to Reno.
Absolutely. It was a crazy week last week, some big-time performances. We'll start just with a recap of last week. Portland State lost 66-79 at Montana. Montana actually went 2-0 last week. They're 4-0 in the conference. They defeated Portland State 79-66 on last Thursday. Then they defeated Sacramento State 77-58. Walter Wright picked up co-player of the week this week.
Yep.
Shared it with Joel Bollenboy after just an outstanding performance last week, mostly by assists.
very unselfish
Yeah.
basketball. He's finding his teammates on the perimeter, finding them inside in the paint, and I mean he stroked a couple threes too. And drove in the lane. He's just doing everything. Just a really good all-around performance by.
Averaged a
by
double-double last week in points and assists, which is not normal right now. You don't see a lot of players averaging double-digit assists in a couple games, but he did it. Hats off to him. Great performance. Idaho State split the home series with Northern Colorado and North Dakota. Lost to North Dakota on Saturday, but beat Northern Colorado last Thursday. Weber State went 2-0 at home to improve to 3-0 in the conference. Another team you might want to look out for, Portland State. They're coming on strong. Cameron Forte playing very well. Colin Spickerman playing very well. Very good team. They didn't start off as strong as you might have wanted them to, but right now they're 2-1 in the conference, playing really good basketball.
That's not a bad road trip to split either.
No,
going into
not at all.
Montana.
Not at all. And it was interesting. I heard Tyler Geving talking to our colleague up at Portland State, Mike Lund, on their weekly video podcast type deal, and he talking about how Christmas break was really good for them because it was almost good to get away for a few days, come back with some focus. And if you were to look at the standings and the schedule, Vikings really improved coming out of that holiday break.
Yes, they did. Eastern Washington picked up their first conference win last week as well in the other battle of the Palouse against Idaho. 14-point win for the Eagles. Good win for them. That was their first conference win. Joel Bollenboy was our other player of the week. He was our co-player of the week, first one of those of the season. Joel right now is sitting at 1,117 career rebounds. That's good enough for third in the conference. He eclipsed Larry Kristowiak, who Montana fans will know
Pretty
very
good
well.
player. Good player.
Yeah, so he's on pace to maybe break the record this week. Keep it. Just watch both of Weber State's games, and you never know. You might see a record broken this week. He's averaging 13.5 rebounds per game. So he could
Still
eclipse,
leading the nation in double-doubles.
still leading the nation in double-doubles with 15. He was our player of the week last week. This week is going to be very interesting. Montana has 2 home games. First one tonight, 7 p.m. against Northern Colorado, and then they play at home again on Saturday, 2 p.m. against North Dakota. Both those teams have kind of been hit or miss, but Montana is going on the road at 2 teams that have played well at home. Then you also have Eastern Washington looking for their second conference win. They have a home game tonight at 6:05 Pacific against Southern Utah. Weber State is at Portland State. That's a
Should
big
be
man battle.
Good one.
You've
Good
got
game.
Ballin Boy, Cameron Forte, Colin Spikerman, Braxton for Weber
Yeah.
State.
Throw Kendall Hill into
Kendall
that mix
Hill.
as well for the Wildcats.
Yeah, you want to see some big guys go at it, pulling down boards, fighting for baskets in the low post. This is a game to watch. That's at 7 p.m. on WatchBigSky.com. They're actually going to stream their pregame starting at 6:40. And then Idaho State travels to Portland State on Saturday for a 7:05 p.m. tip there. Another game that you really want to pay attention to is Northern Arizona and Eastern Washington on Saturday, 2:05 Pacific. NAU picked up their first conference win last week, beating Southern Utah. Eastern Washington, good at home. They could pick up 2 valuable home wins this weekend and really kind of move themselves up higher in the standings. Also keep an eye on Vinky Joyce. He's
Yep.
closing in on the career blocks record in the Big Sky. He probably won't eclipse it until closer to the end of the season, but he is making a run at it, so keep an eye on him.
Speaking of the Eagles, real quick, you did a great video
thank
feature, and I want to say that Jason really did a good job on this. It's on the Big Sky Conference YouTube channel, a feature about the Eastern Washington Eagles. Got some great interviews with Coach Hayford as well as Vinky Joyce. Give us a few short takeaways that you came
Yeah.
away from that interview with.
A lot of it was the Eastern lost a lot from last year.
Oh, yeah.
Tyler
4
Harvey.
starters,
Yeah, 4 starters.
including Tyler Harvey.
That guy's in the NBA.
Yeah, the leading scorer in the country. And to rebound from that is going to be difficult for any team. And to get Coach Hayford's insight on what they have to do to be good again this year, to get Vinky's insight kind of from a player perspective on what it was like to play with Tyler, and then also to what they're going to have to do to get one of those top 4 seeds in the Big Sky Conference Basketball Championship was really interesting. Coach Hayford is a great conversation to have.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Vinky is one of the people in the conference that he's not only very good on the court, he's an academic all-conference performer. He is doing that as a biology major.
I'll give you some great quotes.
Give you some great quotes, well-spoken young man, just a real credit to what it means to be a student athlete. And we're going to have a series of these videos throughout the year.
Yep.
Probably won't be able to get every team, but we're going to try to get about 6 teams throughout the conference, and to kind of get some insight on what it's going to take for them to be successful in the road arena.
Yeah, you got that on the men's side. Then on the women's side, you got the On the Road to Reno series, which is just short interviews with head coaches about where they're at with their program and what they're excited about on the road to Reno. So should be a lot of fun stuff. Anything else in men's basketball you wanted to hit, Jason?
Another person you need to look out for, Tyler Hall.
Yep.
Montana State, 2 road games this week at North Dakota and Northern Colorado. Really good ball player. Hasn't really been getting the publicity that I think he should.
Mm-hmm.
But if you want to see an entertaining basketball player, watch the Bobcats. Keep an eye on Colbert and Hall as well.
Yeah, Brian Fish is really turning that roster over and starting to move it on an upward trajectory. Remember, you can watch all Big Sky Conference basketball games on WatchBigSky.com. Fellas, you can watch it on a tablet.
Yes, you can.
You can watch it on a mobile phone.
You sure can.
You can watch it on a desktop.
And a laptop.
And a laptop.
And a
Sky
smart
is
TV.
And a smart TV. Anything you want, you can watch it there.
You have a web browser, you can get it.
Yeah, HD signal, free for all people who go to WatchBigSky.com. You can also go to the weekly viewing guide, which was put up this morning on BigSkyConf.com. Click that, it'll take you right to the website to enjoy some free, high-definition Big Sky basketball. That's going to do it for this week's episode. Want to tease this out. We've got some elements we're going to be adding to the show over the next couple weeks as we continue to get closer to the road to Reno, some interviews, different insights. We're going to do the best we can to continue to make this show one of the best in the biz. So,
Sounds good.
all right. That's going to do it for us this week, everybody. I'm John Oglesby.
Jason Ashcraft.
Brad Wall.
We'll see you on the road to Reno. Take care, everybody. Have a great weekend.